Mission is to help business owners gain confidence and knowledge in running their business through reading, finishing, and applying books that drive revenue. Austin, you can keep going. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. We're going to go over a very brief overview for the chapters, and then we're going to do two role plays of simply trying to practice the techniques that are in the book so that we can become better negotiators at the end of the day. And so the first role play, I'll go back, Austin. And so the first role play is going to be to on chapters 4 and 5 on mastering no, and then the two best words in a negotiation, and then bending reality, and then we'll wrap up. Should be pretty fast. Okay, never split the difference. And then just brief chapter summary. William, have you been able to read this month any of the chapters or anything like that?
What happened is that I was reading a different book and I felt compelled to finish it, and so I got distracted a little bit. But yes, today I read through, which was audio, through 4 and 5. I got into 6, but not far enough to actually understand what bend their reality means. I think I'm in the early. Well, he's kind of in the middle of talking about the Haitian kidnapping stuff that he
Mhm.
was dealing with.
Okay, gotcha. So towards the beginning of the chapter, I believe.
Yeah, actually, he as I speak more comes, but he was talking about how they discovered that they actually were trying to fund their parties on the weekends, and so they would just stall, and it became just a simple negotiation, or whatever. So I assume that is what he meant by bending their reality, is like discovering what's actually behind their motive, and like playing it, which is sort of like bending the reality.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I feel like in chapter 1, the whole book is built off the premise that we're emotional creatures and that we should lean in to learning how to tap into the emotional side, which is opposed to, I guess, other negotiation strategies, which is to focus on the logical, maybe win-win situations. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts just generally on the book so far, but from what I've found, I think that chapters 2 through 5, mirroring labeling, asking good questions that elicit no to make the person feel comfortable, and getting to a point for your opponent to say that's right, is all for the purpose of getting them feel understood, and therefore then they'll feel open to new ideas and to be persuaded. And then chapter 6 finally starts to put forth some of the techniques to frame your persuasion and to slowly start to nudge them the correct way. But I don't think we've gone into the chapters where it's more like closing or hard negotiating yet. Austin, what have you thought of the book so far?
I've loved this book. This is probably the most entertaining one I think we've read. I like the stories a ton, but I like because the whole idea of the book is to help them see the way you see or see differently to side them with you. And the book's done that to me by realizing negotiation is all about understanding the person, understanding their emotions, and just speaking to them the right way, which has been cool because to me it's like, okay, who's gonna win more, me or you? But now it's just like help them see that this way is winning and realize and look at their emotions. I've loved it. I've loved it.
Follow-up question. We practiced mirroring and labeling last week. Have you been able to implement either of those two things this week in your conversations to practice that skill?
Yeah, I gotta. I told Alex this story, William. I gotta tell you
Hmm.
though. Um, so today I was just filming myself because I went into a gas station and I was like, "You haven't gone and you don't know what mirroring is, huh, William? Because you didn't read chapter 2 yet
Uh,
then."
I do from some cognitive behavioral therapy that I've been through. So this
Okay.
was interesting to see those applications in the negotiation and stuff. It was actually quite
Well,
nice to refresh my memory on some of the terms.
Yeah. Yes, I learned about mirroring. I can't remember where years ago, but I had forgotten about it, so it was cool to come back. But just
Hmm.
today I was filming myself. I went to a gas station and I'm like, I'm gonna film myself and see how long I can talk to this person just by mirroring them. And I walk in and I ask this guy, I'm like, hey, what any fun Christmas plans? And he says, no, just working. And I'm like, oh, just working. And he's like, yeah. And he continues to go. And what I learned after a minute and a half of mirroring him, this guy is from Nepal. He has no family in the US and he's all alone and he has no Christmas plans. And all I did was ask one question and then just mirror. And it was neat. And it was neat because after I was like, well, then I go and I'm like, man, my family's doing Christmas. You should join us. And so he's like totally down. He's gonna come join Christmas with me and my family. But it was neat because I think a lot of these things are just like be a really outstanding good person and it'll come into your benefit. Um, and I think that's what the book gets at. But I like, even if you just know these things, you can do a lot of good for people. And it was cool because now this guy has somewhere to be for Christmas. And all I did was ask one question and mirror. And I wasn't even there to do something nice. I was just like, I'm going to test these skills and try to grow my skills. So it was awesome.
That is fantastic. Is there any chance that we get to see clips of it on Instagram or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it together. You know what happened? I was like, well, you have a good one, and I press end to recording. And as I'm walking out, that's when I was like, hold on, dude, you should come join Christmas with my family. So I don't have that part on video, but I got
That's
his
fine.
number. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so you'll see it. You'll see it.
awesome. But that's a great idea to practice at a gas station, because the chance, like, especially if you're out of town, it's the chances of meeting that person ever again is slim to none, and
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like since last week I've been practicing it on my wife all the time, and labeling. And sometimes she says, "Don't label me," but oh wait, William. Just for clarification, did you read chapters 1 through 6, or just at the beginning of chapter 6?
No, I read the first three last time, but I
Oh,
couldn't be there. There's just stuff going around the house. I was here and everything, but I there's just too much going on.
no problem. I completely understand. Okay, yeah. But I really find like mirroring and labeling, especially at first when I was just testing the waters when conversations with these techniques. It almost felt like a trick that I was pulling on these guys. It's like, yes, I just mirrored you, whatever. Um, but I truly think that it's just like a communication technique to like open people up. Uh, chapter 4 and chapter 5, that's been harder for me to implement, but that's why we're going to practice it today. And I truly feel like if we can practice these things and ingrain them into our conversations, we'll be way more persuasive. William, what have your general thoughts been in the book so far?
It's fantastic. I actually told my business coach that I asked him if he read it, and he says no, and I'm like, you need to read that book, and I think it should be a mandatory read for your students because like so much of what you're teaching me is already in the book.
Hmm.
Um, no, I think it's fantastic. Um, I'm struggling a little bit more than I expected to in like comprehending the get to know and actually applying that. Um, probably this role play that we're about to get into will be immensely helpful for me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've been having a hard time getting my head wrapped around that one as well. Um, for sure. I feel like chapter 5 to get to that right to get to that straight is pretty easy to implement by what he said to do in the book by labeling then summarizing. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Austin, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like you feel stressed because you're low on money. Um, yada yada yada. Anyways, So that's all. Okay, let's move to the role play without further ado. Okay, so right here, again, the book breaks up into two sections. The first one is purely just to make the person feel heard and understood, to get them in an emotional state to be negotiated with and to be persuaded. And so on the left are all the techniques. There's mirroring, labeling, mastering no, and then getting to the point to where they say, that's right, you're right. And then as soon as they're at that point, that's when we can shift to these other techniques in order to bend the reality, Chris Voss says. Um, Austin, would you mind going through any of the bend the reality ones and give a 1 second description of what they are? Oh, good.
Um, yeah. I'm gonna try to remember. I don't know if I remember all of them.
Yeah, if
They,
you don't remember any, I can fill in the gaps.
I mean, anchor their emotion. I remember, and I can't remember if this is what he was talking about. I know he talked about setting a price as an anchor, anchoring high, um, when negotiating, just something a little outlandish, just to make you go down, of course, a little bit, but you're starting high. Is
Here,
that is that?
yeah, sorry, I'll jump in right here. Anchoring their emotions is more um, doing, he calls it an audit, an accusation audit, where you basically say all the worst things that they can think from whatever news you're about to tell them. So the example he gives, all of his employees, he could only pay $500 a day when they're expecting $2,000 a day. And so he starts every call to like tell his employees this. He says, man, you're going to think I'm really scummy. You're going to think I'm a bad businessman who can't even budget right. You're going to think all these things, boom, 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 all the worst things that they can think. And it took the sting out. Anyways, and then let the other guy go first is pretty self-explanatory. Establish a range. If you establish a range, that's pretty good. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Pivot to non-monetary terms. That's when you can add value by not including things in the price that aren't important to you. And then talk odd numbers, which is an interesting one. And then a surprise gift, which sounds pretty self-explanatory. Um, Are there any questions on any of these? I'm no means a master at any of these. In fact, I'm just learning like you guys. But are there any questions that we can help each other learn if there's any ambiguity? Okay, let's move on to the role play.
I have one question just to get your guys' thoughts. Out of these, bend their reality, what do you guys think is most important, and what do you do most already?
At least the
Probably
technique. Oh, you can go, William, then I'll go after you.
let the other guy go first. Like I try really hard to do that, and not when I'm buying something and not price it. I don't want to be the one setting a price. Um, for example, in a hostage negotiation, well, the example that I'm assuming he wrote about, as far as not being able to pay his employees, did he then let them vent before he told them how much he can pay them? Is that where he was going with that?
You read that one more recent, Alex. I can't remember exactly what
Yeah,
he did.
so the story ends by he basically would mirror them and found out what they want, which is basically the party money. And then the negotiator kept on asking like how
Mm,
questions and why questions, like how am I supposed to pay you that much if you're going to hurt my aunt, and stuff like that. And then they negotiate with themselves down. And then at the end,
okay.
actually, when they almost reached a point of compromise, they went from 50,000 down to 5,000. They used an odd number, but then they also threw in like a stereo. And so they pivoted to non-monetary terms or items to like throw in for value. And then the negotiators were like, I mean, and then the hostage captors were like, yeah, that sounds good.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I think anchoring their emotions was the story that stood out to me the most. To like take the sting out of whatever accusation they can throw at you, and then combining that with loss aversion. I thought that was really interesting.
Cool.
Okay, let's move on to the role play. Okay, so again, the goal, this is not going to be pretty. The goal is not even necessarily to convince one another anything right now, but it's simply to practice the techniques and to wire our brains into talking in these certain ways because we've never done it before. And so we're going to do two role plays. The first one is just to practice having the other person feel understood. Okay. And then the second one will be to try to bend the reality. So, uh, for the role play, person one is going to be Austin, and then person two is going to be William for right now. And then Austin's going to try to negotiate with William to take a wild vacation to Italy, to Alaska, to whatever. And William, I want you to think in your mind as if this was really one of your friends trying to convince you of something,
Hmm.
and use your
Why
real
wouldn't it?
emotions and objections.
Why is it not? Are you saying I'm not friends with you guys?
No, you are friends
That
with
was
us.
supposed to be funny.
Oh. Okay.
That would be
Yes.
awesome to take a vacation with you guys.
Yeah, imagine we went to like
So
Italy.
this this is me kind of pumping myself up too, but that's the reality though. I'm already thinking like how could we ever meet up?
Yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
awesome.
Um, on that point, on a side note, my wife's from Illinois, so we should come visit you next time we go out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Austin, practice on William. Ready, set, go.
All right, William. I first just gotta preface you. I'm gonna throw something out there. You might think I'm just wild, um, and outlandish, and out of my mind. I do wanna say, just hear me out, think about it, because it could be so fun. But I'm not even saying let's go on a vacation. I'm saying let's move to Italy. And I think we should move to Italy and you can reopen a shop down in Italy. A cabinet, custom cabinet place down in Italy.
Does Italy even have woodworking? Like it's always Japanese or something that's woodworking.
Nah, I looked it up a little bit and that's why I picked Italy. I really want to be fair with you. They totally do have lots of woodworking, lots of stuff, and it's growing. That's the good thing. It's growing, and switching. So that's why I picked Italy. Do you have any concern or do you have any concerns about it?
I mean, it sounds cool and all, but like I don't see it being feasible.
Not feasible? Tell me more about that. Why not feasible?
Am I gonna get my whole family there? Do I buy new equipment, or do I ship all the tools and stuff over? Seems like an unreasonable undertaking.
Mm. Yeah, shipping it over, getting your family there. Besides the getting there part, is there anything keeping you from going and being down?
I mean, there's a lot of relationships here. Um, I've not I've not been able to bring myself to move anyway from here just because I feel like God has placed me here for a specific reason, and I it's just really difficult for me to give up that kind of vision.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So it seems like there's some you seem a little bit intrigued by it if I'm correct. Getting your family there, just the logistics is seems kind of iffy, and then Also, you feel like you're important where you're at. Is that right? It's important to be where you're at, is what I'm saying. And you feel like it's a call or something calling from God. Is that right?
It's close.
It's close. It's close?
I don't want to say it, but you're right.
Ah. Um, well, let William, let me add on to this. I am gonna take care of flights and I
Okay,
know a
pause,
guy.
pause, pause, pause,
Okay.
pause. Okay, good job,
I,
Austin.
I
That's
said the wrong
hard.
word though. I was supposed to say that's right, and it says you're right, not you're right. You're right is not acceptable.
True.
Hmm.
This is true. Austin, how did that feel to like
I was really
exercise those
rough on
muscles for the
you.
first time?
I mean, the make them feel heard was a little bit easier than bend their reality, but overall it was hard. It was really hard.
I was pretty rough on you though.
William, how
You
did you
what?
feel?
Oh, I could have caved. I could have real easy said, "Well, yeah, that's right, that's right." I could have real easy said that at the end. So I actually feel like you did pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
I feel like you did
There's
good
a
too, Austin. Oh, Will, you
there
go.
was a pretty big disparity. There's a pretty big disparity from where we started and like zeroing in because you had what you needed to continue the negotiation
Yeah.
because you had your finger dead on the the big thing that is stopping me from thinking about it at all. Does that make sense?
What? No, what do you mean by that?
So if it came down to it, if all the flights were paid, if all the logistics were figured out, and everything was ironed out, I still would have to answer that question.
Hmm. Yeah.
I still would have to reckon with the way I feel about being here.
Right.
Okay, William, you're up. I'll be the one. I'll be your opponent, I guess. And you try to negotiate with me to go on a trip of your choice. And just first focus on making me feel heard.
Okay, and so I want to start with making me feel heard, and then switch over to so anchoring your emotions is just like quantifying what you're feeling, and then give you an opportunity just to kind of vent. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how far I can make it into that, but we'll see.
Okay, go for it.
So, oh boy, I haven't put much thought into this. You guys love the outdoors, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, would you join me, Alex, on a trip to the Amazon?
To the Amazon. That's crazy.
Yep.
Um, are you being serious or no?
Yeah. Let's go.
When are you thinking?
So you're considering to go with me, but you're not sure when I would like to go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is this just like a wishful thought or are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. What's
Okay.
your availability? Because I'm flexible.
Here's the thing. Any vacation I can realistically take if I want to go that bad. And the Amazon sounds fine, but it's not top of my priority list. I want to go other places first. Would you be open to going to Bali and Thailand?
I mean, the Amazon is on my bucket list, and I really want to. It doesn't have to be like long. It doesn't have to be very like adventurous or anything. But I really want to do that. But ultimately, um, I think we should just take a couple of days. We could do a river cruise that would should be fairly low impact, and we would get to go there and see the rainforest um, from the inside and just get that experience.
Mm, not right. I mean, eventually, yeah.
So you would consider going eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It's dangerous too, I
What
think, down there.
it's dangerous down there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly. I've just heard it's dangerous, and I don't even know what there is to do down there. But because you're inviting me, William, I'll consider it.
Okay. So you're feeling some apprehension, but also intrigued by getting to experience that with someone.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, we can
Gotcha.
pause right there.
Yeah.
Boom. How do you think it went, William?
Very awkward. Very, very awkward. I kind of had to like refocus myself so many times and remember what I was trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. Um, no, I think that these role plays are meant to be a little awkward. I think that the
Yeah.
parts that were actually really effective was simply at the end when you mirrored and labeled me. I was trying to put myself in a space of like how would I would talk to just anybody. But those things were really effective. Um, yeah. What things do you think were effective, and what do you things you don't think were effective?
I had to work really hard to find a position where I could get to um, mirroring and labeling because you responded. You basically, I don't know, the way you responded to my question just really took me off guard, and I well, I because I was also battling like it felt so real. It felt so real that I was scared to just simply say what you told me, which is what I
Mm,
should have done. I wonder how it would have gone differently if I would have.
yeah. 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 I don't know. I think it was good.
It was all right.
Okay, Austin, I wanna try you. We'll just see how it goes. Okay, Austin. Working on the book club, I have the greatest idea. Is we should move to Thailand and learn Muay Thai out there and get in some a Muay Thai fight.
To
I
move out there?
Yeah, to move out there 6 months. We'll have the time of our lives. You can take Marley, I'll take Rainy. What do you say? Are you down?
Um, no,
No, why
not,
not?
not. Well, I could be down, but right now I'm not down. I know nothing about this.
But you could be.
But yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, let me ask you this. When would you want to?
Um, maybe in like 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I got I got things I gotta get done before. I gotta prepare.
You got to prepare what?
Well, I gotta make sure that I can be good financially for 6 months, it sounds like. Um, it's a long time.
Financially?
Yeah, financially.
What do you mean? I'm not. Like, are you talking about like to cover expenses that you have back at home, or are you talking more about expenses that it would take to go live out there?
All the above.
Okay, gotcha. Well,
But
okay,
it would be fun. It would be fun.
uh, yeah, okay, interesting. So, other than the finances, is there anything else holding you back from going in 6 months and living there for
Um,
the 6 months after that? Like, actually,
like how long living there?
3 to 6 months.
Oh. Um, eh, probably no. I think I'd be down, honestly.
Okay, so it sounds like you're interested and you think it would be fun and probably a life adventure to go out there,
Yeah.
but you're worried
Yeah.
about the finances and having enough money to keep you afloat because you don't want to feel irresponsible. Is that right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, sounds
That's
good.
right.
Okay, we can pause there. Austin, how do you feel? I feel like the mirroring was okay and
Uh-oh.
labeling. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear
Okay,
you.
might be
I
Austin's
feel like it
connection.
went pretty good. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been skipping over number 3, mastering the no.
Yeah, I tried to throw that in by saying, would you have any other objections other than those things to go to try to elicit a no, but it was sort of effective, sort of not.
Okay.
Yeah. The no's hard for me. The no's really hard for me.
Okay, wait, I want to see if I can get it. Let me ask you this, Austin. Have you given up on traveling in your life?
No.
Have you do, have you abandoned the hope to go adventure, to go get stories to tell your future kids?
No, not at all.
So what have you against going to Bali in 6 months and Thailand?
Dang, that's powerful. Good point. I'm down.
Ugh,
That was
nice.
good.
Okay, I'm gonna try to implement that more.
So I was thinking back on mine going to the Amazon. Like, are you afraid you're going to be eaten by a crocodile?
A crocodile,
Whatever. I don't know. Alligator.
an alligator.
They're not down there, are they?
No, I don't know. I'm just mirroring you.
Oh, you're playing with me. Okay. Okay. Good job. Good job. You caught me off guard.
No, it's good. Anyways,
I think
okay. Yeah, you go.
I was gonna say some of the bending their reality. I guess just because I'm not used to doing it, it's hard. But I wonder like if I just started like at least if I just try starting now, one thing at a time, if it just becomes more natural. Because mirroring and labeling becomes more natural. And when I was with William, the only one that I could think of to do was uh oh it's not even on here, but I was gonna start with moving there and then switch to okay. It sounds great. Maybe it's not reasonable, but let's just at least do a trip and make it sound more reasonable. But I don't think we're there yet. Maybe that's in the future chapters.
Mm.
But it's hard to take it all in for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though. I think that we're a lot better off role playing this on a Thursday night than if we were just reading it alone. So I'm grateful for you guys and that we were able to do these silly role plays. Actually, they're not even silly. They're actually I think they're going to be really effective for us.
Yeah. Can we get this tattooed on the inside of our arm? Mirroring, labeling, master no, and that's it.
Yeah, seriously. All right, let's finish up, Austin.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Next week, we're going through chapters 7 through 10. And we're going to be doing more role plays here, increase our communication game. And then we're meeting. So a week from today is Christmas. So we're meeting on the 26th. And so the day following, which is a Friday. And we'll send out a reminder about that too. So that's it. Sweet. Well, guys, thanks for the role play today.
Hmm.
William, if you like try implementing any of these things, and if people aren't expecting like mirroring or labeling, like it's just so natural. But I feel like now because we're expecting it, like it's like we can see when each other do it. But in real
Hmm.
life, I feel like it's a lot less like that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, you go.
the crazy thing about role play is it feels so much more realistic than you would expect.
Mm.
So part of the power that I've and I say this because a couple weeks ago we did some role play at work, um, just taking phone calls and like asking for one of our services and knowing it's one of the other guys on the end of the line. It's like I still have to answer. I still have to be that person, even though I know this whole thing is fake. And so where was I going with this? It's it's like an introduction to the real world. It's like this is what it's going to feel like when I go on that sales call. And you don't expect that from a role play. You would expect that the whole thing's going to feel fake.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I like the
I
idea
agree.
of practicing and making it feel awkward in the role play rather than in person and losing a
Mm-hmm.
sale.
Mm-hmm.
True. Very true.
Hey guys, hey William, a quick question. I get the sense, but let me know. Are you politically minded?
I try not to pay too much attention to the news because it gets to my emotions and stuff. Um, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by politically minded, uh, but I do have conservative values.
Okay, gotcha. I was just wondering, just because I'm at some political convention right now. America
Okay.
Fest is Charlie Kirk's thing. Just thought,
Okay.
good to know if you're a
Perfect.
fan or not, but
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I
All right,
noticed
well,
you were
yeah, you go.
some. I noticed you were at an event of some sort. I was didn't know if it was appropriate to ask.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yep, here for the next couple of days, so should be good.
Oh, wow, awesome.
All right, guys.
All
Nice
right.
seeing you, Austin and William. Talk later. Thanks for
All
coming on.
right.
Thank-
Yep.
See ya.